Ello 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 Dolls. It is I, ArtWorkOfDR. You know your girl. Sorry for not showing you my face. Today was the first day of online school for my children, and I probably look a horrible mess. Okay, so right off the bat, we are going to touch base on the controversy that is going on with the whole, shall I even mention the word, Inktober. I kind of already made a small post about this in my Discord group, which they already know my opinion, and I don't really want this to be about that. I want to recognize that it is happening, it is out there, but drawing with ink is more than just Inktober. Drawing with ink doesn't belong to just one person. Drawing with ink should be something we should be able to do without getting hate upon during this upcoming month. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw with ink in October. I'm not necessarily titling it Inktober. I'm not following a prompt list. I'm not doing any of that. But what I do want to do is I want to focus my time in October with working with inks and coming up with really cool pieces. So I'm here today to show you some of the materials, some of the supplies that I plan on using during the month of October. My plan is to be doing a more vlog-ish style. I don't know, because I'm not the best at these anyway, but vlog-ish style few videos for that month. So not every single video you see that month is going to be ink related. So basically, I'm going to show you in that video, I'm going to show you what I worked on in that week. Like either show you some sketching, some of the inking, some of the coloring in of different pieces. And then at the end of each video, I will show you a finished inked piece, which means I have used ink some way, some color of it. I have multiple colors. I'm going to show you what I'll be doing. But basically, you can use other supplies, not just ink. So I do intend to use some watercolors. This is just the watercolor I have next to my desk right now. This is my newest watercolors, and these are the Mission Gold ones. So, sorry about that flash of color there, or white. So, sometimes I will add color in my pieces with watercolor. So, I'm still going to be doing that this year. I have some ink pens that I could be using as well throughout part of it. I will also probably be using paintbrushes. Smalls, mediums, all that stuff. I also just recently got this glass ink dipping pen. So I will be trying to use this a lot during October with my inks. I want to learn how to use it in a more efficient way and do different kinds of art with it. I've done a few ink pieces, but I don't fully just use one medium when I work anyway, so I feel like for me it's still a mixed media piece even if I am focusing more on ink. So I'm going to be trying new paper. This is a new little field artist book that I got recently. I haven't even tested it out yet, but it's just a 5x5 and they're just little squares. So that could be for some of the smaller pieces that I'm going to do over time. That's the ink stuff, so I'll put it over there. I also have this other new paper that I'm going to try out. Etchigo, maybe? I don't know. But it says, ideal for watercolor techniques and mixed media, acid-free, glue-bound, 300 GM. Size A4. So this paper is somewhat textured, which kind of looks cool. So we will test out the quality of that during October. I also have my handy dandy arches. I do have an arches block as well. And of course we have our most common paper that I use is just this XL watercolor paper from Canson. Been using this for a long time. Haven't had any issues with it. I love it. I can cut it down to size if I need to because this is pretty big. I do have a paper cutter, so if I do ever need a smaller size, I can cut them. If you guys ever want a video about paper cutting, let me know. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm okay. I also got this, which will have its own video coming out eventually. But it's just a little ink set that came with my dipping pen. The inks themselves don't have any names or anything. They just say ink, 5 milliliter. I tested them all. They all look very cute. They have sparkles in them. They are technically not waterproof. They do smudge a little bit, but not too bad. They do re-wet over time, like, so these are going to be like finished touching inks. They're not going to be like an ink base for any pieces that I do, but they will be some finishing touches to get the color and the shimmer of the gold in them. I think that's really cool. So we will be trying to use them. And then the only inks I've ever really used are my Bombay Indie inks that I got myself a few years back for my birthday and stuff, which they work really well. I have them in my Ghostbuster tin here that I got from a nerd box. So I have colors. I did buy a few singles, but you can make these into washes, or you can use them straight. They each come with a little dropper, so you can put them into other things and dip into them, or you can just, if you're personally using them and you're not mixing colors, you can just dip your little ink pens right inside here. That's what I do, because I'm not mixing colors. If I want to mix a color, I will find a different supply or dish to put them in. I also have a small thing of water in here, which I'm using an old Splat bottle. I like to recycle. This one is a black ink wash, so it's watered down black. So if you don't want full color, you can get different ones. I think I also even have a shimmery one in here. Let me see. Yep. So we have 18R Forest Peach, Frosted Peach. It's an iridescent one. This one didn't get to me in the best of shapes. It has a clogged, like the inside of this is really clogged up. I think I know how to remedy that with hot water, but I still have been able to use it, so it's been perfectly fine. But yeah, these are the supplies I plan on using during the month of October. I plan on doing either inking the outline of the piece in this kind of ink here, the Bombay Indie ink, or I will not do any line work until the end, and then I'll be using the other ones. I could be doing washes of these colors to make the full piece. I could be doing a mixture between some ink and some watercolor, and maybe even some gouache, because those are my favorite things to use. But the main focus is going to be using inks, using my dip pen, drawing with multi-liners. You can have all different kinds, but just make sure whatever your base layer is before you add liquid or anything like that is waterproof, because that's going to be the big concern. These ones I know are pretty much waterproof. These are my favorite to use. I use them with marker when I do marker, which is very seldomly. But I also use them when I'm doing watercolor or gouache pieces, either finishing touches or beforehand. I don't really have a problem with them. But that's really my plan, is in the month of October, I'm just going to really try to hone my inking skills. I think we all learn some basics of it in school when we're doing school. I know in high school we learned a little bit about dip pens and stuff. I also have my daughter's dip pen here that she let me borrow. It needs to be washed, but I mean, she's 14, so it's not like she knows how to take care of art supplies very well just yet on her own. I do have to teach her, which I teach all my children art things, so it's great. But I do have this one as well, and she has different nibs, but I don't know if I'm going to be using it necessarily. That's why I'm not putting it in the main group of supplies that I know I'm going to be using. she was letting me borrow it, and I wanted one of my own, so I got the glass one. The only thing with the glass one is you can't change the nib. So how thin that nib is and how well you can control the ink is on you. And that's what I want to get better at doing, and that's why I decided that I'm still going to be drawing with ink in October. I'm not probably going to tag anything as Inktober or anything like that, but I wanted to put this video out there for you dolls because we're all artists, and I don't feel like we should be punished for something else that is going on out there. We were already planning on doing these things, and we should still be able to do them. That is how I personally feel. I don't feel like we should have to explain our reasons. If you don't want to participate, then don't participate. If you want to still use ink in the month of October, then use ink in the month of October. You don't have to call it Inktober. I know I'm not. People are following other prompt lists. Some people are doing Linktober, where you do a piece of link-inspired artwork. I've heard of so many other ones. So if you don't feel like doing the Inktober prompt list, then don't do the Inktober list. If you don't feel like saying you're doing Inktober at all, you don't have to. Just do what you feel comfortable doing. Your fans are going to love your art for what your art is, not from what it was made out of, or if you seem like you're supporting something or not supporting something. Because I'm not supporting or not supporting anybody. I am just doing my own thing in the month of October with ink. So I hope you dolls can appreciate that. And I hope to see all your lovely pieces out there during the month of October. We have a few weeks until October. So I wanted to get this video made and put out there for you dolls. So that way you can see the supplies that I'm going to be using. And if you want to have fun and use ink, use ink. I'm going to be doing probably not a piece every day, but I have a variety of ideas. I'm going to mix and mash some different prompts from different lists that I like. And some pieces are going to be simple and small. Some might be more detailed and bigger. I'm not 100% sure yet, dolls, but I'm definitely going to be doing my best to make pieces in ink in October. And that is the goal here, is to draw more every month, every day of each month. And I think that's what we're missing out on now, is everything is all about did somebody not. I mean, the drama is drama. That's why it's called drama. We don't have to be a part of it. We can just do our own thing. And I feel like that's what I'm going to do, and I appreciate you being here with me. So thank you, dolls, and I hope you keep your creative juices going, because you know I'm going to. I will see you guys soon.